Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again, and first of all, just like to say sorry about the lack of YouTube content recently. It's been a fucking stupid month with all of these random events, the Christmasing type thing, and just so many stop-starts that barely any characters really get to the point where I'm going to make a video it's worth sharing about. Thanks to just constant new events and characters dying and barely getting a chance to play Scourge, etc, etc. In any case, this video today is just about the Atlas Invasion. As you can see, I died right there to a boss. That is currently the only bugged one in all of the Atlas Invasion for the record, so by all means give this thing a try. It is a very fun event, and it's the one I've been looking forward to for the past month. Out of all the events, I thought this one would by far be the funnest, and that means there are 5 bosses that Maven can witness. So any bosses that can be Mavened in the later game, there's 5 bosses in every zone, and that does make things quite a bit more intense, especially in the first few levels. You won't really have much more fun in this event than in the first few levels, when you are kind of weak and the bosses are at basically, their maximum in terms of what skills they're going to use, because they've already got their full loadout of skills that they're going to be using throughout the entire game, essentially. And you are weak as piss, and it really does create some fun, intense situations. As soon as you start killing some of these, they are guaranteed to drop at least 1 unique, in many cases much more, just randomly. They don't drop anything from their regular drop pool. Why would they? That makes no sense. So like level 70 shit, it would be useless anyway. And the only example anyone can think of that would be good is Watcher's Eye anyway. As you can see, some things scale a bit higher. Elder, Shaper, most of the Guardians do have quite a bit more life than the average boss, so sometimes it does pay to walk away. So the first few levels are pretty intense. Once you get your leveling uniques in, then you can start killing the bosses quite a bit more reliably. But at this point of the character in the video here, my character's like level 86 or 7, and it is on HCSSF, and I decided to go with an Assassin Frostblades character. I originally wanted to play Molten Strike quite a bit and go from a perspective of an Assassin or a Slayer, but I picked Assassin, and it really is quite tough to make Molten Strike work well, or even just work from the Shadow point of view, because you're so throttled on strength and the strike passives. So I couldn't even level up Molten Strike past a certain point, thanks to just a lack of strength on that side of the tree and the amount of traveling that is required to get to the strike nodes, which is what makes Molten Strike feel quite a bit better in my opinion. So I end up leaning just heavier into Frostblades, and it's basically a build similar to what I've done before, Frostblades with White Wind. I was using Claws for quite a while, and then by the time I got to the level where I could get a White Wind, I started farming Ossuary just before Kitava, and it drops shitloads of uniques if you're just killing the bosses over and over again. Got a White Wind, and then started playing the Dagger White Wind version of Frostblades. This is on HCSSF, so I've built, somewhat defensiveness. I've got a Grace Aura, some evasion nodes, capped Spell Suppress, and it was going fine, and DPS was okay. Something that was quite beneficial in this build for hardcore was just the perma-freezing of almost anything you're attacking. Just about every boss that spawns can be frozen except for the really big guys like the Elder and the Shaper, but otherwise the perma-freeze was quite potent, and you do just get tabulas all over the place, so having a 6-link is pretty reliably built around in this event. And as you can see, just Ancestral Call plus Frostblades has always had pretty good clear. The main thing about Frostblades has been about trying to fix its single target. So you just need, ideally, both Threshold Jewels for Frostblades, because they give some extra penetration for melee, and then also utilizing Hydrosphere. I fucking hate Hydrosphere because it's just such a solution in too many skills to make things better, and it's just so lazy at this point that it's essentially forced into into fixing things for various skills. Yeah, I don't know what to say. So I'm just kind of sick of using it, but in this case, yep, Hydrosphere. So if you place a Hydrosphere somewhat in front of a boss that you're going to be attacking or a target, and essentially you're hitting the Hydrosphere. Your secondary attack, thanks to Ancestral Call or additional strike on the tree, should hit the boss, whereas you're hitting the Hydrosphere and then generating projectiles. So in this case, you should be hitting with both sides of the attack, the projectiles and the melee portion, and I'm pretty sure it's working that way. In theory, that's how it works, and I'm pretty sure that when I drop a Hydrosphere just right and hit it just right, then we are close to doubling our damage. So it's pretty worth doing, and that's essentially how Frostblades gets its single target right now. Otherwise, just the usual. We're using Nightblade, so we've got plenty of crit and crit multi, and this is where I end up dying. This is the rip clip, but just a bit more prolonged, because this is the fight I came across. Tier 8 map or 4 map, I can't remember what it was. And the Vaal Temple Rain, Bone Rain chick, as you can see, still alive. And up till now, hadn't had any issues with the boss because, I don't know, it just hasn't been an issue. I think I've been hit by the rain a few times and otherwise just killed her and it was completely fine. I let her live a little too long and kind of just got complacent and forgot she was there as I was trying to fight Atziri. And all the things ended up hitting me and I suffer my inevitable conclusion. So it was a pretty sad ending. My character got to like level 88 and was top 3 assassin on HCSSF. Would have happily pushed it a bit further, but that's where it ends, unfortunately. Kind of a mistake on my part. So in any case, let me show you real quick what my character looks like, how it was built. The character was level 87 in actual fact, and nothing too special going on. Basically, you know, pure SSF and on hardcore, and you work with what you've got. And I figured White Wind was going to be by far our best choice of weapon for scaling, because you're not really going to get much better DPS just randomly finding shit, and it is a very solid item to build around. So it's got lots of suppress, it's got lots of extra cold damage if your offhand is empty, so we don't have a shield or anything, and we build into evasion with grace and this type of thing, and a bit of, you know, evasion from Gull, bit from the tree. So in the end I got something like 50 to 60, 70% evasion depending on what we're wearing, with a tabula. So it's just a +1 tabula. You can corrupt plenty of them since you find plenty, and the links for the build that I was running with in the end, I only just then changed something up. Frostblades and Nightblade and Ancestral Call, essentially your staple 3. You then got Multi-Strike to make things feel a bit nicer for targeting, and then added Cold is a lot of our damage. And then I was using Cold Pen for a long time, but once I got the Frostblade thresholds on and filled out the passive tree, I justified putting in Bone Chill, which gives a bit of extra cold damage, but it also increases your effective chill on enemies. So most enemies are going to be perma, like 30% chilled, and then they're going to take 30% increased damage from cold sources. So it seemed pretty good to have. Only just recently put it in. Otherwise, yeah, you could stick to Cold Pen. You could do all kinds of other setups and do things like Trinity, or be more of a Fizz base, do elemental damage with attacks, inspiration. By all means, this isn't a completed build, and I'm not going to like give you suggestions as to how to finish it off. Just, you know, pretty bare bones, basic little assassin Frostblades character. So we're using a Gull. Gloves with some attack speed is pretty important. Boots just have some strength, because it's really hard to feel that strength in the character. A bit of extra melee range from an Unveiled Amulet. Otherwise, bit of life and crit multi. And then just trying to fill out some resists and life and all that. It's a very basic shit. The threshold jewels, those are the ones that give you extra penetration for the melee portion of it. But like I said, if you're using Hydrosphere, you are using both portions of the attack. And that means that the jewels are slightly less effective, but most things you're attacking, you do get like the full benefit of this, because you're not even placing a Hydrosphere. In general, just the actual power of Nightblade, Elusive Assassin with daggers and stuff is pretty damn strong, because you have a lot of extra crit multi from the Elusive and then scaling Elusive effect. As you can see here, 928 crit multi at the very height of its Elusive. So that's only going to be like as soon as you get Elusive up, because then the Elusive effect slowly starts to tick down. But that is why you can see throughout the video, we do use Withering Step. So basically, you Withering Step to refresh elusive, and then anytime you use another skill, it removes the Withering Step elusive, and then you reproc it very quickly with your assassin elusiveness over here. So I did take this as my first ascendancy, I think, and then this, and my last one would be opportunistic. And a lot of the time we are at, like 170 to 230% elusive, something like that. So the idea is to not let it tick down too low, and that's why we have Withering Step. Otherwise, you'd just tick down your elusive all the way down to like 0% slowly, and that does feel pretty bad for output. But you can also see in the death, my Withering Step took off my elusive, and then I didn't manage to reproc it, and that's possibly a good portion of why I died. Otherwise, using Herald of Ice, Precision, what else? Grace. I think that's it. And in this case, I have Grace Mastery over here, Precision Mastery over here, and just filling out stuff that I need for my character as I was playing it. Felt like I needed more crit, got some crit. Felt like I needed some resist or some evasion or some shit, or spell suppress, and got that. Otherwise, yep, that's a very bare bones basic character, and it's Frostblades. Took me pretty far. Could be done much more softcore wise, and I've done Whitewind Frostblades Assassin like a couple years ago maybe, that you might want to reference if you want a more complete build. But hey, for now, hope you guys enjoyed this. Do encourage you to try Alts Invasion at least for a few hours. That'll be the most fun portion of the event. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.